London is the place for me. London, this lovely city. You can go to France or America, India, Asia or Australia, but you must come back to London City. Well, believe me, I am speaking broad-mindedly. I am glad to know my mother country. I've been traveling to countries years ago, but this the place I wanted to know. London, that's the place for me. To live in London, you are really comfortable, because the English people are very much sociable. They take you here and they take you there, and they make you feel like a millionaire. So London, that's the place for me. At nights, when you have nothing to do, you can take a walk down Shaftesbury Avenue. There you would laugh and talk and enjoy the breeze and admire the beautiful scenery of London. That's the place for me.
David Lammy.
What can I say to the Home Secretary? That the relationship between this country and the West Indies and Caribbean is inextricable. The first British ships arrived in the Caribbean in 1623, and despite slavery, despite colonization, 25,000 Caribbeans served in the First World War and Second World War alongside British troops. When my parents and their generation arrived in this country under the Nationality Act of 1948, they arrived here as British citizens. It is inhumane and cruel for so many of that Windrush generation to have suffered so long in this condition, and for the Secretary of State only to have made a statement today on this issue. Can she explain how many have been deported? She suggested earlier that she would ask the High Commissioners. It is her department that has deported them. She should know the number. Can she tell the House how many have been detained as prisoners in their own country? Can she tell the House how many have been denied health under the National Health Service? How many have denied pensions? How many have lost their job? This is a day of national shame, and it has come about because of a hostile environment policy that was begun under her Prime Minister. Let us call it as it is. If you lay down with dogs, you get fleas. And that is what has happened with this far-right rhetoric in this country. Can she apologise properly? Can she explain how quickly this team will act to ensure that the thousands of British men and women denied their rights in this country under her watch in the Home Office are satisfied?
Mr. Speaker, I share the Honourable Gentleman's admiration for the people who came here from the Caribbean and contributed so much to our society in many, many different ways, and that admiration remains in place. I am concerned that the Home Office has become too concerned with policy and strategy and sometimes lose sight of the individual. And this is about individuals, and we have seen the individual stories, and they have been, some of them, terrible to hear.
The panel's going to talk just a little bit about the Windrush, and also you can ask questions as well. So what I'm going to do is volunteer. We've got if they can just introduce you about themselves and touch you about the Windrush. Is this one?
Yes, greetings. My name is Supreme. I was on earlier on. I'm on Conscious Radio, like I said. And it's a pleasure to be here at the Speakers Club, learning the art of debate and speaking. I think later on we're going to be having some plays from BAP. Oh, you want me to stand up? Anyway, we're going to be talking about Windrush, so I've got to say, I've got a friend of mine, and I did invite him down to come down here and speak from his point of view from the Windrush, but he said he never came on the Windrush. He came on a boat called the Scania. Has anyone heard of the SS Scania? And you know what he said? I'm hoping that he will turn up. He was a stowaway. His mum, his mum, right? His mum didn't even know he was on the boat. And people were, giving him food, and he was, hiding away. But it was so funny because he came on the radio pre this Windrush nonsense, right? And when this thing came out where, is it Theresa May? A lot of people didn't want to tell their story because they ain't got their paperwork right. So it was kind of scary that some of our elders, right? And I hope someone here will get up and speak. Some people don't want to talk because they're now putting themselves in the frame and their pictures, and video and stuff. But she's gone, and I've just seen somebody pass around in the audience. Is it a compensation scheme they've got now? Yeah, like PPI. But if the people are not here, how are they going to claim the compensation? It's a bit, like. And one thing I've got to say to the elders, you've got to be wary, right? Very wary of some of these immigration lawyers. Some of them are just reporting you or even putting you more in trouble. So you have to find someone who's really sincere and got integrity to do with this Windrush compensation, because a lot of people, who are elders are quite embarrassed that they haven't sorted out their paperwork when they shouldn't be embarrassed, but that's the situation they're in. Some people, they're not even telling their children that then, But I remember, I remember my mum actually applying for that, is it British citizenship? And she must have spent, at the time it was about £60. And I remember her ringing up her cousins and, no, man, you don't have to do it. We're here. But my mum said, no, she's filling in the paperwork. And back there, I don't know if it was the 70s or 80s, £60 a lot of money now. But I remember her doing it. Anyway, I'm going to pass you to Sister Shanice.
Thank you. Thank you, DJ Supreme. And yes, Cersei, go ahead. Greetings, family. As DJ Supreme's already told you, my name is Sister Shanice, and I'm a presenter on the Big G, Galaxy Afiwi. And it's a pleasure for me to be in your company this evening. I'm looking forward to our discussion and to hear, some of your stories that maybe your parents shared with you about their Windrush experience. Just so you know, you can get Galaxy on www.galaxyafiwi.com. And my shows are every Wednesday from 10 a.m. through to 1 p.m. If you're on the plantation, just put your earphones in and you can still get the shows. Or you can go onto SoundCloud and just search for Sis Shanice, and you'll find my shows. They're primarily focused on issues concerning us from an African-centered perspective. And I tend to do the research, come with the information, and then I open up the lines for members of our community to call in, and we normally have a very lively and interactive bit of discussion on a whole range of topics. So I hope you do check out one of my shows and become a caller on the Big G. You can also get me on alternate Saturdays as well at the same time. So once again, thanks for inviting me here this evening. It's a pleasure to be in your company, and I look forward to our conversation today.
Rise up, Sister Shanice Supreme. Once again, my name is Aboo Jahtata, and I'm a presenter on Galaxy Radio. That generation, we may call it the Windrush, but it's more than a Windrush here. You understand, And I always glad to talk about it, because when I just start talk about it through the scandal the other day, you know, anybody who listen Galaxy knows it's a topic that we keep in mind. We know that our parents, and this I'm stressing to our people, I'm stressing it to them, because we have a lot of black people in this country with degree in law, degree in business, but I truth me I tell you, they're 90 degrees away from them own cause and 90 degrees away from them own people. They are a disgrace. They are the children of those people. When me hear people that come here telling about, oh, the elder them should do that. No! It takes a village to raise a child, from the womb to the tomb. And we should be ashamed of ourselves to see that we have so many black lawyers and we have been crippled by the law in this country. You know, how can we, that generation that persecuted by those people, I was born in this country, you know, 1958. My parents sent me back to Jamaica when I was 6 weeks old, and I kissed them foot bottom for that. Because we need to be grounded. I was in Jamaica and said there was register slip coming. And I think they was making a lot here until when I come here, tears come to my bloody eyes to see how those people, the greatest economical people, them was our parents. Little money there, so, little there, so, something tie up there, so. We have to wake up, you know, and realize the greatest people them I know is that generation. We must act on what we know, because I see we as African people, we give credit to all something we don't know because somebody tell us so. Yeah? And what they have done to us, because I hear a lot of people talk about self-esteem. No, we need to have race esteem. We become damn selfish with this self-esteem. What they give us, my people, they give us a personal loan, a personal savior. And we don't know these people, you know. And we will give up our family for something that we don't know. That generation, every time we see them, we should bow to them, salute them. And before we honor them, we rather go up on their honors list. What I'm saying, we are at war, my people. And we must decide from now where we stand. Our health is in trouble. As the brother said to you, we can't say the old people that might go to the grave, you know. Because we say we are going right now. And a lot of you, even from the Windrush generation, get a letter and said to him, oh, Miss T, you need to come in for a checkup. No, that's the checkout. We got to, no. You see the whole thing about it. They destroy our family. They destroy that generation, that wonderful generation that when them cook something, always left in the pot in case somebody pass through. That's how it go. Today, I'm telling you, we are in trouble because you're going to black people house and you don't even see no smoke come out of the kitchen no more. Or this micrograve, I send you understand? Because we become like them. African man both in want Viagra. What you want Viagra for? Because you not eat properly, you think they could take away chicken they can help you? We have to look on that generation and say if it wasn't for them, Britain couldn't call itself great. And it's long before that we are coming here, you know. When I just come here the other day, you know, I could go on, man, because we shouldn't be ashamed to talk about our mother and father. We shouldn't be ashamed to talk about them. Because when them come here, white people was wearing grey. And they used to bring them suit to the pawn shop and take it out when them need it. You know? And I'm telling you the truth. My son or my daughter now coming at the house with them bloody with him, Miss Daisy and them kind of thing. We have to stand up. If we are build a nation, how can we build a nation and have the oppressor in the yard and them thing about certain? No. And this is not hate, my people. is a reality. If you look at the monkey and the all them animal, then do selected breeding. You think that Mrs. Monkey I go pick up a little arthritis monkey and about him want to mate with that? But we take up anything. And go both say, oh, it's romantic. I'm not a bloody Roman. Never was, never will, and you understand? And it's even getting worse now. Because Michael left yard in the morning and come back as Michelle. That is not in that generation, me I tell you that. My mother cannot care how big we is until then go to the grave, then can call us, boy, come here, my boy. You understand? And I remember she sit me in the front room, because a lot of us forgot the front room, you know. The first church, the first reception, the first everything. Now the front room did it today with a big plasma TV already at the whole family and we now use it. Just to show. Oh, I have a lovely house, you know. And you know, I live up Hampstead Heath. But living down Hampstead Heath now, all your family I go visit you have it. How much are you coming? That I can notify the neighbors. How can we live like that? Can you sign my petition? Why? Because they don't want me they should have murdered your backside. Where you going down, they going to live for? We know how wicked the people them is. And we congregate in a certain way. What we are move out for? Because we're running and we're running and we're running away from ourselves. And this is where we are today. So that generation, me tell my people, we don't have to read about it. I watch no movie about it. We experience it. Those people go to some deadly snow, some deadly weather to give us where we are today. And we are coming and come tell our parents about, why, them not in my league, you know. We, the African man in this country, have to get up and stand up and stop playing games. We can beat up a woman, but we not beat up the police, we beat up the children. Eh? We have I go in a certain African man yard. This man down in the house a screw. So I say, come there screw? Boy, I need a see you. I say, you can't see us in your house. This is where you have to be the best comedian for your children. If you don't make your wife laugh and you make another man come in there and make her laugh, you're bloody in trouble. Not you. At the backside you live with this man and he just serious, that kind of thing there. Because he developed these people's behavior. And the truth me I tell you, I grew up in a Jamaica where my granny teach me everything and teach my sister. So when you come to this place and people are going to tell you about England never make me a man. Down in Jamaica amongst the family, when I wake up in the morning and turn right and turn left, I see people will look like me. You understand? And we will grow up with love collectively. You understand? Not the little thing that when we see I go on here today where people are going to talk about said, you know, I am my brother's keeper. No, I'm not. I'm your supporter. I'm not no damn prison warden, you know, but I'm your keeper. The narrative that they give us, we have to define for ourselves, my people. Remember those people. Remember them. Remember your mother. Remember your father. Remember your auntie. Remember your uncle. Because if them never plant that seed, we wouldn't be here, but we are suck some fruit today. We cannot be ungrateful. I see African man will go to Scotland and build a dog house for him in-law and him mother around the corner and he ain't go and look after. We got to organize that those men, our women, we take them one side and cut them ass for them. Because, if we are at war, we have to secure our posts. We are at war, my people. You understand? And whether we talk about it today or talk about it tomorrow, every day is our Parents' Day. I mean, we're not forgetting like a Windrush Day, because you know what, everybody now, you know. Because Home Officer gives some little money, so everybody now talk. And I come tell you this and I come tell you that. But when I speak with him, Martin Forts is the lawyer, the QC from the Home Office. He said when the Home Office contact him, he contact mostly all the black lawyers them that them can have a forum. 4 of them response. You know, tell you? All, I'm not saying all, but the majority of our people in this country with this A4 paper. Because on their damn paper, the man's, just imagine, every one of this that we have in life is our oppressor give it to us. We have this paper to please other people's culture. When are we gonna have a degree in our African thing? But that is an internal thing. You understand? So I'm saying to you, my people, if you're rich, help the poor. If you're strong, help the weak. If you're literate, help the illiterate. Because when I was growing up, I never hear nobody I say, boy, them people they don't know because, oh, it's a take pride in our village. That the rich one, the rich one always put the man in his pocket. In those days, I see politicians put the man in their pocket to support their village. Today, the politicians are putting his hand in the people's pocket. And we are assisting them because we say nothing. On behalf of Galaxy Radio, we'll forever rising up our parents, them. Rise them up to the max because them are rise up for them too. You know, see it, we will cry for the 6 million Jews that them say that dead in Germany. But look how much Leopold murder. Rise up, my people. Rise up. Vodun.
Okay. Yeah, and okay then. Take, and yes, yeah. Oh, that was lovely. Come on, yeah. Give him a clap. Okay, fantastic. Okay then, what we're gonna do here now? We had some challenges because of the sun and whatever. So I think we're kind of back on point. So we're going to show the film. I think it's 45 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes. Then we'll open up for further question and answer session. Okay, then. Please rise at the panel. Please rise at the panel.
Let me show you what I mean. Check it.
All right then. So please can you have your seat and camp the panel? Please go to the seats as well. So there'll be a short sketch by BAP, and they're ready to come on right now. And what's going to take place? The sketch is to do with the whole thing about the Windrush. So there will be opportunity for people to ask questions, and then further on we can make comments about the film we just see. Okay then, so please big up to BAP. Please give him a clap. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Francis, thank you for coming. Thank you. Oh, Lord. So, how's it going, man? Like, they treating you good in there? You all right? Well, I don't know what to say, you know. Them treating me alright still.
Yeah. You're eating good, like.
Yeah. Them cook some rice and peas over there, you know. Them did try. They don't cook it good, but them did try, you know.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's good.
How am I not like this? Look how them treat me. 42 years me day at this country. I clean up them doo-doo. I build up them houses. I look after for them picnic. And now them want dash me away like dirty water. Like dirty old rag.
Why are you doing this to you?
You know why? Because them don't love we. Them don't love we. No matter how we try to get them to love we, they don't love we. And all me wanted to do was see my sick auntie back a yard, you know. And now they want to depart me. Oh.
I mean, Auntie Pat came to see you, right? She gave you some food, right? You got the food, right?
Yeah, Auntie Pat come still, you know. Food nice, remind me of home. But she did get emotional, you know, start crying. Sometimes I think I better she don't come at all, you know.
I mean, I'll come in whenever you need me to come. Like I don't mind just spending time just coming in to chill.
Thank
you.
You're always a good man. You're always from since you was a youth.
I mean, everything's gonna be alright. You know what I'm saying?
You think so?
Like Bob Marley. Bob Marley sang it. Everything is gonna be alright. Everything is gonna be alright. Everything is gonna be alright. Everything's
gonna be alright. So
the guy's telling us to shout.
You see how them stairs? We can't even sing our own song. We can't even sing our own redemption song.
Yo, but like there's hope.
How there's what? How you gonna take out the whole establishment?
Can't, but you know, like all of us on the outside, we're working really hard to get you and everyone else out of here.
I know, you can do the best you can do.
And yo, did you hear about David Lammy as well?
Lammy? I the politician boy.
Yeah, he's the
black man.
Yeah, he's the MP of Haringey. Man, he stood up in Parliament and cussed them all out, you know.
Is it?
Yeah, he demanded an apology.
What, a black man stand up in the House of Parliament?
Yo, he was outraged. Like everyone's saying that he's really finding his voice.
Is it?
Yeah,
and
man.
he might chat for we?
Yeah, man.
Alright, still.
It's just a little bit of hope, but that's all we need. We're strong.
There's a little bit of glimmer of hope,
Listen,
you know?
we're strong people, aren't we?
We are strong. We're strong.
That's all we need.
We're stronger than this.
Exactly.
If you know what we did put up with when we did first come in, no doubt, you hear it anyway. See more people.
I mean, we can overcome any hate. No hate's gonna overcome us. You know what I'm saying?
I true that.
Yeah.
Listen.
That's my time, bro.
Listen.
It's good to see you, man. You know?
Nephew, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming.
Stay strong, yeah? I mean, I'll come back on Wednesday if you want me to come. I'll come.
Come on Wednesday, if you have time,
Man, I always got time for you.
Okay,
right?
thank you. Yeah, I'm coming.
Yes, come on, we can do better now. Come on, give Pepper a clap again. Come on. Absolutely fantastic. Okay then. So what's going to take place? I'm going to use the panel just to give a overview of what you observe. Yeah. Then open up for the audience. But there's a structure because you can't speak no more than a minute. You know, in terms of your feedback. Yep. So what I'm going to do now, I know we just got a new member just come to the that's Angie. Everybody introduce yourself first time, and so be wise. You just introduce yourself first and start with you first, probably. It might be, you know, if that's okay with you, Angie. Big up to Angie. Come on, give her a clap.
Greetings, family.
Greetings, my sister.
Hope you're all well.
Is the mic on? Sorry.
Oh, you can hear me anyway. Can you hear me?
Cool.
Oh, great. Okay, greetings, family. Sister Angie. I'm a sister to my sisters and to my community. I do a lot of community work. I've got an organisation that does a lot of work in Africa. And yeah, like to support my community and lead by example.
Okay then. Angie, you want to make a start with you? How do you find the
Oh, I'm going to be honest. I came in late, but I've kind of picked up.
Okay.
And obviously, we're talking about Windrush.
Okay, let's start with the panel first, and you come in after. Yeah.
Well, rise up, you know.
Rise up.
Go to, well, rise up the actors, them, you know, that try to give us a little insight, you know. I mean, that look good, but I know to a fact that it not just cut and dry. You understand, you know, and we have to come together. We have to come together. If we organize, then they can't do certain things to us. You know, they call it deportation now. But when we was on the plantation, they call it drop them here and here, and they used to cut off a foot. So we must not become complacent, because a lot of us think that we're so brutish, and now this is what really happened. So organize or perish, my people.
Okay, give that. Yes, Shanice.
I thought it was a very good clip. Gives us an insight into, what happens on the other side when a loved one is taken into a detention centre and is threatened with deportation. It kind of just brings home, the fact that families are broken up, the hurt and the trauma that's experienced by the ones that are going through, as well as the ones who are, there for those who are going through as well. It highlighted the unfairness and the injustice as well of the treatment that family members are going through. And as Dr. Aboo was saying, it kind of exemplifies as well our weakness as a community, because we need to be armed together on issues like this so that we can campaign effectively to stop it from happening. So I thought it was a very good piece.
Okay then, that's a start. Give thanks. We go to...
Sorry, I want to come back because I thought I was introducing myself, but I wasn't.
Oh.
Anyway, in terms of the clip and isolation, there's a lot of isolation, and there's no way to filter. And I think what happens a lot is internalized, which leads to trauma, which then can impact on not your family, and then obviously onto the generation. But I think from the lessons of the past, we have to learn that we should never ever allow that to happen again, and we need to stand up. And I think about lobbying. I know we do a lot of protesting, and we march and all of that stuff, but we need to be more organized, more structured, more strategic, so that we can have some results that will benefit those, our grandchildren and the young people. But we do need to get organized and learn from those lessons.
Thank you very much. Okay then, Monster Supreme.
Yes, greetings once again. I actually earlier on wanted to play the clip of David Lammy when he was in Parliament, because I don't know if anybody knows, is any other MP ever spoken out against it? And he has only been the only one that I know of. And in his speech, he actually spoke about that these people are now being denied their pension, health care, and their houses. If they own the house, and they're trying to get their property. So the legacy, the system is trying to get the legacy. And even the ones that are in the care home, they're checking up to say, oh, are you meant to be in the country? Oh, it's a Windrush. We're just doing, a basic check that you're supposed to be here. But some of the elders don't even know what's going on. But I did find it quite ironic that it was only David Lammy. And if you listen, I'm going to see if I can play it. Is it all right if I play it?
No, we ain't got time. No.
It is time. So... No, I'm telling you, it's so passionate.
It's a time. We might come back to that, but it's a time.
Huh?
We've got to be out here by 8 o'clock, so I'm just conscious. If we've got time, I want to open up the reasoning still. You see what I'm saying? Right?
One thing about, we shouldn't wait until we hear these things for one of us to say something, because the whole thing about it, David Lammy was talking from a party perspective.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes we forgot who we are and forgot who they are. You know, sometimes when we run with these things, we forgot that you can't. My granny always said, well done is better than well said. You can't talk them things down the night and you're going to lie down with Miss Daisy and tell him that you're afraid of us. Man, wake up, man. You know, see, not because they give us like a pretty talk. You can't lie down with the oppressor daughter and say, I deal with liberation for our people. We have to wake up and say these things. Because we are in a serious situation, blood. And this is where we sell out ourselves short. We see what happened to Bernie. Bernie dead and his wife take over and the thing dead. We have to wake up, blood.
Okay then. Anybody from the audience wants to say anything? My sister, you might have to come forward to the mic, please. You have to move fast as well. No, speak to the mic, my sister. And you got 1 minute. To this mic, and your name, please.
My name's Shireen. Hi, everybody. Hi. I just want to ask, do we think that the Windrush thing was an overnight thing, or do we think it was a planned thing? Because I think it was a very long thing that they've been thinking about for a long time. Mm-hmm. And it's not an overnight, because these, as we know, they don't do things overnight. They've had their plans in place 50 to 60, 70 years. So they knew what they were doing when they invited people like my parents and other people's parents. I'm the first generation in my family, and my dad came here in the 50s on a boat from Africa. So it's the same difference. So why are we acting like we're shocked? So that's the funny thing for me.
Then. So what's the question you're asking?
Do we think it was overnight?
Do you think it was overnight? Okay, that's the question you're asking, yeah? Okay, then fair enough then. Okay then. Anyone else from the audience want to make a contribution? Yeah? I have to pick on somebody. I'm going to pick on Hesketh. Yeah? We haven't got a roaming mic, Hesketh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't try to hit it on the head there, I feel. Because I like the young lady who spoke to, I'm Windrush, and going through the different stages. And even hearing what Supreme said about David Lammy. David was quiet for a long time. We know David. We know David. That was strictly political.
Yes, it was.
Strictly political. He jumped on that bandwagon. People was knocking him, sort of saying, I don't know if these things were ready when Bernie wouldn't have stand up. Bernie was the mark.
That's right.
And he wasn't afraid. He wasn't afraid. He was a looking position in putting in the politics game there. He knows he's in there for his people, right? And I know because I roll with Bernie, and I can feel it from his heart when he goes in there. He ain't going for position. So what I feel now, and it's hitting us, going to hit us even harder. And this Brexit and all that, the mobilisation we've got to do, and I think the sister there spoke about that. We've got to do it really quick. I don't think we march, because I get involved with other movements. And I find that the white people go out and march for us, for our team. And that shouldn't happen. Look at, if we talk about march, look at Hong Kong. I don't know what the politics is there, but 2 million people out on the road. In London, we've got to be able to do that, mobilise ourselves. We're in a comfort zone right now. Very much so. Comfort zone. And our young ones are in that comfort zone.
Okay then. Give Hesketh a clap. Thank you very much, Hesketh. Yeah? Okay. You want to say something, brother? Got your hand up?
Your name, please. I'm not going to say my name on cameras.
Yeah.
But I think this whole situation was a wake-up call, of a series of wake-up calls, right? The brother here was talking about when he went to Jamaica and everything. Now I've been to the Caribbean. And there's a disconnect. One thing that we've lost in this country is the voice of not the ancestors, but more like the griot. In an African village, the elders would tell the young ones about the history. Now, I don't know much about the elders' history because they didn't tell me a lot. You know about Windrush and stuff, but they didn't tell you a lot of stuff. And when you ask them, it's like, oh, we don't talk about it and stuff like that. Now, there's probably people younger than me that don't know what happened in, the Brixton riots and things like that. And you're talking about comfort zone. Yes, we are living in a comfort zone because we've let ourselves to believe that we're part of this country. When this story's been going on since our ancestors were kidnapped here. We've built this country, we built America, we built everything, and we're still being treated like nonsense, and it's got to stop because we've got to realise one thing. When you said about, was it Leopold? Right? Yeah, no, I'm just going to point it clear. What you've got to understand is this, right? People talk about the Holocaust, like anti-Semitism, but racism trumps that because racism has had, racism has genocide, slavery, colonialism, land theft, everything. Everything that's been bad has happened to us. It hasn't happened to any other race, it's only happened to us. We've taken the brunt of it and we're still taking the brunt of it, right? Racism is our thing, because it keeps happening to us. And this is the thing, we can't keep being inclusive. Let's invite everybody. We have to start laying down the ground rules. Because every time we invite people into our courses, they steal everything and everything like that. It's got to stop here. If we're going to take our power back.
Okay then, thank you very much, yeah? Just be conscious, we only got a minute just to... Anybody else from the audience? And then we go back to the panel. I'm gonna look at someone, I'm gonna pick on somebody who's doing a lot of work in that particular area, this sister here. If you don't mind. Please, if you come forward a little bit, if you don't mind again. Yeah.
Okay, my name's Glenda Thomas. I work for the Home Office. I'm a Windrush Community Engagement Officer. I started doing it about several months ago. Initially, when they put the advert out within the Home Office for Windrush Engagement Officers, I didn't want anything to do with it because I thought I didn't want to be used by the organisation. But I used to attend a lot of events like these and hear people complain, and I felt that I was just like burying my head in my sand, just coming into these events and listening or walking out, and I wasn't really helping my community. So I decided, I'm going to take up the mantle and become a community engagement officer. So that's what I do. Basically, I just spread the news about the compensation scheme that people can apply for and how they can get their documentations in order. So thank you.
Okay then, anybody else got a burning question? If not, I'll go to the panel. Is that okay? Okay then, we go to the panel. Yes, my brother.
Yeah. Hello? Am I on?
Yeah, you're on.
Yeah, I just want to respond to Dr. Aboo and Hescliffe, because I think sometimes one of our problems is that, okay, David Lammy said what he said, but then we focus on David Lammy and then we don't really do the work that we got to do. I think there's a lot of self-sabotage with us, a lot. Because if that was a tree being chopped down, then white people would have stayed around that tree day and night and sleep and make sure that they don't chop down the tree. And with us, we focus on whoever's speaking up for us. His nose is too big, his trousers ain't. We look on the character and the personality, and that's wrong. So what we need to do, to me personally, is that we can get all nice and angry in the room, and when we leave the room, we go home and that's it. So I have a problem there, right? That like you said, we are in a comfort zone, and we find it easy to focus on David Lammy or another black person in power and say, well, it's a bit bourgeoisie, a bit similar to the film which I was trying to get to. But, we actually have to look at how do we support grassroots organisations that are doing something? Are we doing it? Or are we going to sit at home and throw stones at David Lammy?
Okay then, give thanks, Supreme. Give Supreme a clap. Yeah, all right. Thank you very much. Yeah. All right. Yes, Angie's going to speak. So,
how many times do we have to keep repeating the same thing? Okay, Windrush, my parents were Windrush generation. And admittedly, they didn't teach me a lot about what they had experienced because it was traumatic. So what they did, they found ways to blank it out and just carried on with what, the best that they could do, and instill certain things in us to enable us to not have to suffer the consequences, because they didn't have anybody to talk to. They couldn't talk. If they spoke, my great-great-grandmother was a slave, So what could I do now, to sort of make sure that my parents didn't invest in us and I made it go to waste, like literally just, I learned about my history in my 30s, my true history. Because my parents couldn't tell me certain things because it was painful. So they used to just drop parables and say, watch them. My mum used to say to me, watch them. But she never explained what she meant by watch them. But as I grew older and started to see certain things unplay for myself in the school system, in the workplace, I said, so how can I maneuver myself? And this, sister, I've got to rise you up, for actually going on the inside. Because we criticize each other when we're trying to work with what we have, make the best of a situation. You cannot make change unless you become part of it. So you're going in and you're trying to do the best that you can. And I think what we have to do is move forward and say, okay, what can we do from here? So first thing, we need to recognize the elders that we have left in our generation, and we need to encourage our children. This is my grandson here, and I try my best, to make sure he comes to events with me. Sometimes it's a bit resistance, but make him not have no choice. He has to come, and we have to be uncomfortable. Some of us are very comfortable with being uncomfortable, but what are we gaining? So we have to say, right, the elders that are left in our generation, what can we do for them? How can we engage the young people with the elders? And do the best that we can. Stop complaining, just do something about it. There's loads of us in the community working. Support those that are working. Invest in those that are putting their self on the front line. I can speak about myself, but I'm sitting next to a sister here. She's active in the community, and in Africa, like myself. So support those if you're not able to do it, And let's stop the complaining, man.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sister Angie. Okay then. Shanice.
Rise up, sis. A sister asked the question as to whether or not we think deportations is something that's happening recently or if it's been part of a plan for some time. I think that if we look back in history, we can see that deportations from this land is something that's been happening for centuries. I know we're here during these times and we're looking at what's happening now. Even if we look at what's happening now, it's been happening for decades. They've been deporting our brothers and sisters quietly for decades. America has been deporting a lot of Africans back to Africa and the Caribbean, so has Canada, and so has the UK. I mean, it's running into figures, something like over 500,000 people have been deported back to Africa and the Caribbean over the last decade or so at least. It came to a head and it came to our attention, I think, in a big way when they decided that they were going to focus on the Windrush group, and that was the wrong group, obviously, for them to focus on, because that actually woke up the entire community. But no, deportations isn't nothing new. If we look at even Queen Elizabeth time, she was, deporting the blackamoors back to Africa. She was saying there were too many black people, too many Africans and blackamoors on the land, and they are infidels and taking up the resources, the food, etc., that their people needed because it was a time of drought, etc. So we've been the scapegoat here for centuries. And as my sis said, there comes a time when we really need to come together as a people, and we need to begin to think for ourselves, okay, what's our plan? What are we going to do for self? I mean, we tend to put up with a lot that's done to us, but that's because we fail to come together and plan. We fail to come together and strategize. We fail to come together and organize and have a plan for ourselves that we follow through as a people. Our parents had a plan. When our parents came to this country, most of them were coming for 5 years to earn enough money to go back home. That plan changed when they got caught up in the cycle of bills here, and then they had their family here. So then they decided they wanted the best for their children, so that their children could have a decent education, they thought, and make a good life for themselves. So we're living the dream of our parents now. They paved the way for us. But what is the legacy that we're going to be leaving behind for our children? What is our vision for our children? What is our plan for our children and our children's children? Is our plan for our children and children's children here? Or do we have a plan for them in the Caribbean or in Africa? Irrespective of where we see our children in the future, are we paving the way for them? What are we going to be leaving behind and in place as a foundation for our children to build on? So obviously we can do so much more as a collective. As individuals, we're limited. We can only do so much. The whole system of divide and rule has got us, crippled when it comes to working together. And that is a major, major problem. Our parents were able to work, they were able to work together and pull together, and they achieved so much with the little that they had. We're in such a better position, but seem to be failing miserably compared to what they were able to achieve. So we do need to get over ourselves and look at how we can work together as collectives, as my sis was saying, join organizations and start putting in the work, really, for our future's sake, for our young stars' sakes. Yeah.
Okay, give thanks, my sister. Yeah? Perfect.
Rise up, rise up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't complain. I come in shape, I come in color, I come in style. I don't complain. You get it straight, I make demand. I have to rise up the sister there, because how much are you going to the Home Office website and click into that little Jamaican flag and see what them are recommending deportee if you do? And say when you go to Jamaica, try to be a Jamaican. No, you tell me. No, you tell me. You go to Jamaica and try to be a Jamaican and see if they not kill you. These are the things them that they're doing and so that they're giving them advice. Let me tell you something, I don't come here with rumor, I would never come here and tell lie on people. A brother went to Lamy with his immigration problem, and what Lamy tell him to do, go and get a Jamaican passport. You see, we are here getting these sound bites. And we are crying crocodile tears for them. You remember a couple years ago when Diane and they Twitter something, and she apologized for her hand? You remember? This is what I'm trying to make you understand. They do something, but when them party bring them in and said, hey, what are you doing here? The Labour Party, we are blamed Theresa May. It was on Labour Party watch also what happening to our people. Every one of these political parties come together to destroy us. You understand? You name me one thing, just one thing, my people, that we ever get from any one of our politicians that go into parliament. No, you name it. Everything is from the grassroots. If it wasn't for all the new crossfire, many of them who they in a parliament, it's all for that bandwagon them run. From Paul Botan to Bernie to Diane Abbott, Keith Vaz, all of them feed off the misery of our people. Don't you see what's going on? What Sister Angie is saying is true. These are the grassroots. These are not funded by the local authority. These are people who go to the Gambia and see that, that we can help out with the health, and do something. These people have resource to their disposal, and they don't use it for the benefit of our people. I applaud our people when I see them in these places. But don't tell me that you're going in, because that's what they say to us. Abu, I'm going if you go change it, And as soon as they left home, then go in and they change them. We have to be real, Aya. We are not here to put down our brothers and sisters, but truth is truth. Don't come and complain when the horse gone through the gate. We should have tried to stop it. You know? The 1st of August, we having reparation march. And a lot of people say that they're not in this and they're not in that. But reparation is about repairing my people.
Repairing the mind, yeah.
You understand? It's about we repairing ourselves. And we also have that, as I said, there's things that we have to come together. You see, Angie do something, Shanice do something. We all see a way how we can support one another because we are the only friend we have. Remember that.
All right, give thanks. Rise up. Okay, then go to the audience. Anybody want to make a contribution? It can't be no more than a minute. I did some of them send anything. I'm gonna pick on somebody. The sisters look very intense. You want to say something, my sister? You? No? Okay then. Buzzy B, you want to say something about? Yeah, you want to say something again, sis? Hold on. Let's have one meeting, please. Anybody want to? Okay.
Yeah, I'll make it a minute. I don't want to change the system. I want to get rid of it because we're not. If we look at the history of our ancestors, you mentioned the Blackamoors, the Moors, and everything like that. We once ruled this planet, and in my opinion, the planet's coming back to us anyway. So we have to prepare. What I think we have to start doing, yes, we've got to consolidate our communities here, but we've got to start reaching out to every black person. We're Africans, but we're the first source of black people. There's other black people that's been out of Africa for thousands of years, like the Aborigines in Australia. We've got to reach out to every single black person because every single black person is living exactly what you just described. So we just need to do all that as well because I don't know what's going to happen in 20 years, but I'm not living in this country or any white supremacy system. So we've got to, like I said, we've got to start getting together.
Okay then. Hold on, Scissor. Speak into the mic, please. Come, no, speak. All right.
Where do we see ourselves in 20 years in the UK? Because I know what they want, especially London, I know what they want London to look like. But where do we fit in, and do we think that we even fit in? Because to be quite honest, they've got an agenda, but what is our agenda?
Okay then. All right then, very good. Let me turn this on his head now, right? I'm turn this on there. I'm gonna open up some cans of worms. I'm gonna turn this on head. How do you see yourself as, I think Angie said, 30, 40, 50 years from now? Yeah, how do you see yourself? Huh? Say 10. Okay, Mum, you want to speak in the mic? Give Mum a clap because this is some of pure wisdom.
I haven't got much to say, but what I would say, can't we see what is happening? It's not a thing that is 30, 40, 50 years more. We are in end time, and a lot of stuff is happening, and we taking it for granted. You know what I mean? You put the frog in the cold water, you can boil him. What you put him in hot water, he's gonna jump out. All right. So we need to wake up. It's time to wake up. It's not 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Man, don't even go so far.
Okay then. Fantastic. Okay then, we've got literally 5 minutes to wind down. Right? Good. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to ask the panel no more than 30 seconds just to wind up with us. Start with Supreme quickly.
I don't know what to say. I wanted to play Bernie Grant's, not David Lammy, and I just want to talk.
Brother, just come. We've got just time challenges. You see what I'm saying?
All right, I finished.
Please. You know.
Okay, I would say, as our elder said, the time is now. Think about what you would like to leave for your family and act on it. And those of you that haven't visited the continent of Africa, may I suggest you pick a country. It's a continent. We still won't bring it back to that, yeah? But pick a country on the continent, and if you don't visit, make sure your grandchildren visit it. Okay? Thank
you very much. Okay then.
Absolutely agree. And what we do know is that there are those among us who see themselves as having a future here in the UK. Those who see themselves as having a future here in the UK need to get active in the community here, need to take up positions of power, and you need to join forces with other Africans in power to do what you can to make things better for yourself and your children who you want to make a future for here in the UK. There are those who want to be here in the UK but would, rather than be included in a society, be a nation within a nation. So those of you from that perspective, again, you need to try and ensure that you're setting up businesses, you're creating opportunities and jobs for your children and children's children. As Sister Angie said, those who want to repatriate, you need to be taking your children to Africa, and you need to be visiting, building up kinship relationships. There are organisations out there that do trips. Sister Angie does trips. I do trips to Africa. If you want more information, we can give you information about that as well. But we need to have a plan and be working towards a plan for the future. Let's not leave the future of our young people and our young stars to chance.
Okay then. Thank you very much, sister.
Rise up to my fellow panel member. The whole thing about it, you know, I'm going to leave you with this poetry here. Our enemy, who art in England, Babylon is thy name. They will remain the same on earth, but not in heaven, jailing us each day for our daily bread, and leading us into conviction to deliver us to evil. For evil is their kingdom, their power, their glory, and they shall burn in hell forever. Amen.
All right. Okay then. Nice one. Rise up. Rise up. What a poetry. Okay then. Now then, let me ask a question. Right? How do you find the event today? Excellent. Okay then. Was it informative? Was it inspired? Come on, give yourself a clap. Yeah. Next question is, was it fun? Yes, because you learned more in a fun environment. But most of all, was you inspired? Absolutely. Come on, give yourself a clap again, and the panel. Yeah. No, I need to pick up the speakers team. Who we got? We got Theo, we got Matthew, we got Sharon, our beautiful sister Ronke here, brother James, and the BAP. Come on, please give them a clap. Need to big up Dawn, the Liberian. Yeah, she's out there somewhere, just, yeah. And also to big up the man Jammers, because he had to rush off to work or whatever. Please give him a clap, because it's his vision, yeah? Right? Absolutely. So again, big up the DJs, big up Abby. Please give them a clap. Yeah, absolutely.
At nights, when you have nothing to do, you can take a walk down Shaftesbury Avenue. There you would laugh and talk and enjoy the breeze and admire the beautiful scenery of London. That's the best of it. Yes, I cannot complain of the time I have spent. I mean, my life in London is really magnificent. I have every comfort and every sport, and my residence is at Hampton Court. So London, that's the place for me.